All right, welcome back. This is MDawg, and we are here recording another episode of our leveling series. And we have got two things to check out today. We're going to check out both Belaya and Old Burg, assuming that I have the endurance to keep fishing for that amount of time. I hate that we have missed the morning bite, but I didn't want to wait until the next day. I guess I could have been patient and waited till it was time for Old Burg. We're going to do bream at Old Burg. We're going to try spin fishing here. So we are, let's just see how this goes. I'm actually going to change to Hornet 1005, and I'll show you this again at some point. I just wanted to go ahead and get this in the water so we can start fishing, because this is the last moments of the morning when hopefully the bite rate will be a little better. But supposedly, according to a poster on VK, this lure and this spot is working pretty well. I will say, spot checks at Belaya are the most inconsistent for me, possibly of any map in the game. I don't think that many people go to VK and actually post fake spots. It probably does happen some. There's got to be some people that get some sort of weird satisfaction out of sending people on wild goose chases in the game for some reason. But for the most part, I don't think that happens a lot. But with Belaya, I just feel like there's some inconsistency. So like one person's experience just might be vastly different than someone else's. And anyway, so someone is claiming that they are catching really nice grayling and brown trout on a spinning setup with this lure in this spot. The other possibility, if it does not prove to be true, then you could still make the argument, well, maybe they're able to cast it farther than we can, and that could explain it. But I'm just really curious how well this does. By the way, same thing with the spot we're going to check at Old Burg. Someone is claiming to have a really good bream spot at Old Burg, and I want to go check it out. So hopefully we're going to get both of these spots checked out. If either one of them end up being decent, worthwhile, then obviously it'd be worth fishing. But so far this one does not seem amazing, but we'll give it some time. I actually do sort of like, if I knew there was just a really good Belaya spot, like if Belaya was having a good, if I could find the spot and the lure combination where it just felt like it was doing really well, I would probably spend our silver to get a nicer setup to farm it. But if there's a chance it's not as good, if it's not like incredible, then I would rather not spend that silver, because we need to be saving for something we can either use at quarry or use for stronger bottom fishing. So that's kind of just where I'm at with that. I'm trying to figure out if we go back to, it's like, I think it totally depends on the color of the shirt I'm wearing and all that, but trying to get this chroma key set up a little better. I think this shirt, I don't know if it's got like a little too much green in it, or is that better or worse? I think that's a little better. All right, we'll just go with that. It's still not perfect, but who needs perfect? So we've got an overcast day. The benefit of getting a nicer setup would be we're casting farther. So we probably immediately are catching more fish because of how much farther we're able to cast it. But we should still be doing pretty good even casting this far. By the way, do we have any points right now? We do have an available point. Can we put a point in our... I don't remember what we ended up Yeah, so we put one more point in spinning reel. It's always a good idea to go 5 on that, so let's just go ahead and do it. That'll give us a little bit more casting distance, that 5%. Maybe we'll get an early bite. Oh, we did catch a fish. That's interesting. Is it a grayling, though? It is. Okay, so we're 2 fish in. Very small. Nothing that makes me think, oh, this spot's doing great, but we at least see a grayling. It's, you know, grayling, that's usually the fish, in my opinion, that is the core of a good Belaya experience. If you're catching a few brown trout, that's just like, that's when it gets amazing. But the grayling are just really good, consistent XP silver makers. And usually what you're seeing a decent amount of in a really healthy spot. All right, so let's go ahead and just try some other things out, because this is painful. Let's try the Spiker 18. I know that Hornet is supposedly what's killing it here, but might be fake news. There's only one post about it, and that's already suspicious. Like the first time you see a post about something, it's like, oh, maybe. But you kind of want to wait till you see that second or third post, and you can kind of say like, okay, this is a universal experience, not just what one person is claiming. Speaking of which, let's go check something else out. This is so slow, it's actually got me thinking like, trying to think of where, oh yes, let's go to spot sharing on the Discord channel. We can specifically pull up Belaya. Let's see if anyone has, we go to jump to present. This is February 6th. Oh, this is somebody showing their setup. This is actually good information. Fishing is so slow right now that I'm actually going to use this time to go look at the, I want to show y'all what this person is using here. So the Siberia Inspiration. This is going to be a spinning rod. Now this might be a very expensive setup. I don't know. And this is the light setup. So this one's 68L. No, they're actually using the 78L. So it's 895 silver. That's not an impossible amount. It's got a huge load capacity. See, the thing is, we could actually use this rod at Corey, although you can only go up to a 2,000 reel. And you don't really need anywhere near that much strength for Belaya, so I would say that's overkill. And by the way, just for what it's worth, they've got a Zyman Bird 2 GSX. That's going to be a pretty expensive. Where's the GSX? And they've got the 20S. That's a 1,600 silver. Again, way overkill. All right, let's go back to the rods. I just don't remember. I keep thinking like, oh, I need to go back and look at what I've purchased in the past. Because in the past, I've done the inspiration. The research, really looked into it, and I just haven't this time. Here's another option. So it's still almost 600 silver. It goes up to 7.5 load capacity, which is a nice amount. You're getting that 50 plus 50% XP. It looks like they actually put the broken Russian reel that you get for free. They repaired it, if I'm reading this correctly, and put that on there. I think that's what that reel is called. No, it's a different one. Huh. Anyway, I'm not sure. All right, so let's look at the reel first. We'll start with the reel. a 2,000 or a 3,000 reel potentially. So 2,000, this one goes up to 3.6. Maybe we have to start with the rod because we need to know what size reel we're thinking about. I'm just saying theoretically if we were going to do this. So this goes up to 5 kilos. It's a light. That seems really good. The test is good. The load capacity is good. We can have a 2,000 reel. It goes up to 5 kilos. It's very inexpensive. An Arrow L. That's what comes in this kit. This kit's not that much more, and it comes with the Libra. But you could go up to 5 kilo. It does have to be a 2,000 reel. So where would that put us? Here? Oh, that's only 3.6. So to get closer to 5 kilo, that's still 3.6. I mean, that's where you get expensive, I suppose. The Pulsar is only 3.8. That's too much. So the Commander, though very nice, is too much. I guess this is perfect. But again, that's 1,600 silver. There's no way that's the play. It would be nice to have maybe 3. So what's like a cheap 3 kilo? Oh, that's a 3,000. So if you found a rod that held 3,000 reel, that's pretty cheap for that much power. But let's see, how much? Oh, they only have the 1,000. Let's see, what's the cheapest 2,000? Okay, so like this would be a good cheap option. Not a good option, but a cheap option. This is another one, even cheaper. Maybe just the Hydra Smart. So you could put something together like this where you've got, yeah, so that's interesting. So if you do want more, more strength, you have to go to a medium rod. The problem is the test, right? A lot of the lures we want to throw are too light for that. So you're going to lose casting distance again. So I think you've got to go with the, not that you have to, but that you kind of want to go with light. Is there medium light though in some of these? We don't want medium heavy. Yeah, so here's medium light. So this lets you go up to 3,000 reels and 11 kilos. So if you just wanted the nicer option, but it's just a lot more money. So anyway, those are some of the options. I actually don't see 73.50. One person is saying 73.50. That's going to be down this way. So let's go try that spot. I mean, this was days ago. But that's how convinced I am that this spot we're checking is just actually not that good, is let's go try a different spot. I think 73.50 is down here. Yeah, okay. Oh, we should switch back to that other lure potentially. Is this the only spiker we have? Can't remember. If we ever get to the point, and I don't know how long this series will go, but if we ever get to the point of actually trolling Cory, that's another place where these lures might come into play. Just for the bite rate, and you can do okay, but just for the bite rate, sometimes when you're trying to level up your spin fishing, it's nice to use these kinds of lures. All right, just making sure we do have fluorocarbon on. The only thing those nicer rods and slightly nicer reels do for us is maybe get us casting a little farther. That's really the only advantage, because what we're using is a light setup, so the test is fine, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we wouldn't see that much of a difference in the cast without putting more points in the spinning rod. Maybe that's where the difference would come in. We should probably just not worry about trying to upgrade and just make do with this setup. Belaya has not been great recently for me anyway. All right. Finally. A grayling that's a marker. All right. Take it. Okay. It's hitting him like right in front of us. That's a grayling again. I love it. It's not a marker, but that's okay. At least there's actually fish at this spot. That last spot, we were forcing the game to spawn these tiny fish just out of like having mercy on us, but here I think there's actually some fish. Another grayling, again small, but that's okay. Let's see if we can find something that they might get a little bigger on. Just want to rotate through these pretty quickly, just try to stumble upon something. I hope we have a better experience at Old Burg than we have here at Belaya, but at least we can continue to check and rule out spots. Because if you can find a really good spot at Belaya, it's worth it. And by the way, there are plenty of other types of fishing we could do here at Belaya. There's, you know, good float fishing, good feeder fishing, especially on the other side. But I specifically am trying to figure out if there's anything with spinning here that we could do. All right, that's an immediate hit. It falls off, but that was an immediate hit. That's interesting. Let's try this one again. Interesting. We're getting these like non-marker fish, but that was a brown trout. Perch. All right, let's try. I was going to say love to see it, but don't love to see that. So I don't know, like, if we have found the right lure or if it's just the right time of day. But that was a amazing grayling. I know I was muted there, and that was on purpose, but I wasn't. I was talking to other people, so sorry about that. But we did finally catch a grayling over a kilo. You love to see it. And it was soon as we switched to this lure, but again, it's also potentially the time of day. That early morning and then this late afternoon before it gets to be evening is when you're likely, it seems like, to see the better fish. So I'm kind of torn right now on, is it the lure or not? We're definitely seeing some action, but let's see what happens on this cast. We might go ahead and switch again just to see something else while we're in this sweeter time. Perch. All right. I think we've just been going right to left. We haven't tried the snowflake, even though this is a weird color. I'm skeptical, but let's try it. Okay, let's jump back to the spiker. On paper, the lure that you would maybe think would do the best would be this spiker, but this color might not be as hot at the moment as it often is. I just don't know. There are a lot of times where this spiker in particular does great. But I think some of the more standard spikers are actually doing better at the moment. So, but nothing is good enough to justify buying another spiker, in my opinion. So maybe this one is the best right now. I don't know. Everything else seems pretty slow. Hmm. So we've got like reasonable chub and grayling coming in right now. But not too much longer. We need to get set up at Old Burg for bream, so these different hornets we've collected. All right, is this a grayling? No. It's a very small brown trout. That looks like a little micro chub. Well, at least we found a few fish. Leveled up our spin fishing a bit. At least probably maybe paid for the travel cost. I don't know. It's really slowing down on us. Okay. This would be a good night to go for rough, but we're going to go check that bream spot. Just going to at least get one cast down here, I think. Okay. Do we have plenty of bream ground bait still? We probably ought to confirm that really quick. Bream. 34, 40, 71. I mean, that's plenty. Let's see how much we made at Belaya. Not really any cafe orders for us, which is unfortunate. Oh, we made 21 silver. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so we're going. Golly, there's no great way to get here. I think this is the best way, actually. We're going to 1538. Clip 13 or so, something like that. We'll go 15, 13, 12, something like that, on clip. almost bream time. All right, so I think we take a right to go 1538. Okay. And we're just kind of casting in between these two trees, kind of straight out here. All right, so 15 on this one. 4.4, yep, that should be good. I think that's fine. And really same setup on this one, except we're going to do 13. And then on this one, smaller hook. I guess that's fine. And we're going to go 12. We got to watch the friction break on these. Okay, so there are bream in the water. It's always a good sign. And as we move into the evening, they are hopefully going to get a little bigger. Okay, very good. I like it. Unfortunately, it might just be what we expect to happen on the third setup to get these smaller ones, but every fish is a chance to level up our bottom fishing. So even though we don't have a third setup, we can aggressively go for bigger bream. We still have a chance of leveling that up, which, by the way, I mean, we really should consider getting a third setup. I know we're trying to start to save for either gear for Corey or Bear or a combination of both, but my goodness, we need a third stronger feeder setup. Yeah, this first one, and this one's at the longer clip, is so much better bite rate than the second one. Let's make sure everything else is set up appropriately. The same. Paternoster 28, bream 4.4. Paternoster 28, 4.4. Huh. Well, I guess I'll move it to 15 clip, if nothing else. Get them in the same spot and then see if there's still a difference, but that looks pretty good. like to see that. Which does make me think about, do we just go, like sometimes garlic dough is just a better bait for white bream. I don't know. We'll see. Might not make sense, but we'll try it for a few minutes. If any of y'all fish at Norway, that 120 spot is such a head scratcher. Just seems like some people do really well there. I have not done so well when I've been there. All right, so we are at 42.4 on harvesting baits. We just need to make a bunch of pea porridge. Did we get more ingredients for making cottage cheese? We did, so we can finish making more cottage cheese and then make some pea porridge. It'd be nice to start working towards 50%. We can start cutting up some of these fish for fish pieces. Seems like the server issues are much better. Hopefully we have gotten to a little more stable time with the servers. I think there's a fish on somewhere here. Maybe not, maybe still just nibbling. Ooh. That is music to our ears, because I still think it's a bream, not a common carp. Yeah, that's a bream. So, what size is this one? Is it over 2, 2.5? Maybe a little more? Oh yeah, 2.38. Almost 900 XP. And now we have a, ooh, hello there, friction brake. He turned his head. I can't tell if he's quite ready to come in. I think he is. I think he's ready. Oh, he's trying to fight. This might be over 3 kilos. Okay, he turned. I don't know if he's going to have the strength to turn back. I think he's just coming in now. Oh, he tried to turn one more time, poor guy. He's not getting away though. We need to buy the bigger net, don't we? The longer net. Oh, 3.1. Absolutely love it. All right, that's 2 very nice bream, although we have no ground bait. Love to see 2.3 followed by 3.1. That is great. Still nothing on the garlic dough though. let's see, 1, 2, 3. We need these to start popping off a little bit, but the size of them, has been encouraging. What a nibbler. Is this a roach or something? I mean, bream can nibble, but this is ridiculous. It is a little small, isn't it? Oh, it's just a small fella. Not too small. We'll take it. Now, obviously, this is with 3 setups, not just 2, where we're aggressively going for it. But, you know, back in the... I shouldn't even say back in the day. Just when bream are especially healthy at Old Burg, you kind of... We would judge a good bream night if we had more than like 20 or more than 16 or whatever that were over a kilo. Like right now we're at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1 kilo. So we're pretty far away from, now again, we're only using 2 rods in terms of like really going for them, but we're pretty far away from like what you would normally consider as especially good bream night. Doesn't mean we can't make a little silver, and it's still worth doing, but it just slows the grind down. Okay, there's another one over a kilo, but it took a while to get that one. I mean, it had been a while since we had caught a fish on this first rod. We'll see where that nibble... Okay, so that is on the 3rd rod. I'll be curious to see if this is a white bream or what this is on the garlic dough. Whoa. I'd say this is a regular bream, huh? Yeah. So we might as well switch back to pearl barley, I'd say. That's a nice one, though. Like to see it, but I don't know. It took forever to get that bite, so. The fish just swam right towards shore. It might be over a kilo, but it's not a lot over a kilo. 1.3. All right, it's picking up a little bit. Barely a marker, I think. Oh, it's not. It's under a marker. All right, so now we're already at 7. So it's, you know, this is starting to feel like a better spot again. Maybe with ideal leaders, hook sizes, 3 setups, a few more skill points. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is a pretty good spot at this point. Pretty decent one. So it's 4:32 in the morning. I mean, this is getting to that time when, you know, you hope to see some nice size ones in the early morning hours here. That's over 2. I don't think this is that big, but it's just this is the small setup. It is a decent one though. Got it in pretty quickly. 1.7. There we go. 1.1. Sort of coming in pretty good right at the moment. What are we at? 6, 10. $9.26. Huh. Is this a bite? Yeah, I guess it is. It's just small. Let's get that back in there soaking. Nibble, nibble. It is a strange time that we've been doing this leveling series with the New Year's challenges, with not having Old Burg or Belaya be particularly good, at least in the traditional ways. Now, this bream spot is giving me hope. It's actually reminding me just how off Old Burg has seemed lately. I thought we might have a common roach just like nibbling away at our bait there, but maybe not. But yeah, it's been a strange few weeks for leveling folks who are leveling, especially if you're leveling for the first time, trying to kind of figure all this out. Mosquito and winding have been really strong, but that's because we've been testing it so much, or we were, for the New Year's challenges. There was so much information, overload, about those two maps, and therefore less information on Belaya and Old Burg, and that still seems to be the case. More information on Quarry, but you need the gear for Quarry, so it's just you're kind of in a weird spot. In terms of efficiency for silver, I sort of wonder if we wouldn't have been better off staying more in Mosquito and Winding. Just for variety, I've wanted to push into Belaya and Old Burg, but I think there's no question we could have just continued to make more silver at the other maps. And that truly is what we need right now, is lots of silver. So we'll sit this out though. So we're going to kind of hang in here till about 8, just in case another nice couple bream come in. But all right, so here's somebody in chat that did catch a 3 kilo bream, 3.1, and then said that he's at 25.28. But I guess it's still in the same chat zone where I am. That looks like a nice pull. This is not a 1 kilo bream, by the way. It's not that good though. It's okay. It's over 1 kilo, but it's not amazing. Almost 2 kilo. We'll give it till 8, so we're not going to wait too much longer, but we want to give them a chance to maybe get one more fish. We're still catching 1 kilo bream, so you don't want to leave too early. And once again, this one should be right at 1 kilo, just over 1 kilo. 1.3. So 25.28. I can't remember. Is that farther down this one? No, it's back up this way. 25.28. Huh. Is that actually on the bridge? I don't know. I can't remember where 25.28 is. Maybe we'll see it on our way back to town. I mean, I'm watching him in chat. I'm not sure that he's... I mean, he happened to get a decent one that was 3 kilo, but in terms of bite rate, I feel like ours has been just as good, if not better. By the way, at this point, we're at 6, 12, 13 with kind of 2 rods, although at least one of the 1 kilo was on the 3rd rod. So either way, it's been a pretty good bream night compared to what it's been like lately. I think if I was trying to unify them, I'd probably go 15 meter clip on all 3. instead of, we've got it 15, 13, 12 right now, left to right. All right, so this should be a little smaller fish again. We're up past 8 a.m. This is where we start to, oh, it's a white bream though. All right, I'll try it one more time. We'll let it soak for another couple minutes. It's like if you're going to leave any of them in, you might as well leave them all in. You never know where the bite's going to come in at. Sometimes it happens really quick at the rod you just put back in. Okay, it's just under a kilo. Let's see what this is. Yeah, I think we call it. I think we're getting to that point where it's, yeah, that was a small fish. You could tell from how it was pulling. Okay, so let's go see. So it's somewhere in the Ford. 25, 28, is that what we said? All right, this is 25. I don't know. I have no idea. I just don't remember. I mean, it would be not be hard to figure it out, but we're gonna head back. Okay. We'll double check cafe orders, but I mean, there were no bream, so, you know, we didn't get a trophy roach. Oh, there is bream. Wow, did I miss it or was it just not there before? It had, yeah, it must have just popped, I guess. So that's 51 silver. That's actually going to turn this into a pretty decent, decent session. That's going to increase it by a lot. Yeah, that makes us go like 150 silver plus what, I mean, 170 silver with what we made at Belaya. So thanks to that cafe order and just Old Burg bream being a little better than they've been lately, we got a nice infusion of silver, a little bit of XP. You just want to keep grinding that bream spot. And then during the day, if you can't figure out something at Belaya, just go catch some cafe orders at Mosquito or Winding. This is probably your best bet right now. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Glad we got another one of these in. And we'll keep going as long as I'm kind of feeling it and spots are popping up and all that. But we'll see how it goes from here. But as always, thanks for watching. Tight lines, everybody. I'll see you next time.